Holy moly guys, how often do you see a stock up 38% in a single day? XPENG Stock, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. If not, let me know in the comments down below. Ticker symbol XPEV saw a massive rally today, making many millionaires overnight from this impressive performance. The EV market is hot and the Chinese EV market is even hotter, so there's a lot of people making a lot of money on these stocks. That being said, we need to discuss what's going on here with XPENG because we haven't spent any time on the channel discussing this company before. That being said, today what I want to cover is three main things. First off, what is going on today with this stock? Why is it up 38%? And then let's move on to some news that could actually push this stock even higher than today's prices. Absolutely insane. And then finally, I'll share what my position is with this company. Did I actually buy in and catch this run? I'll share that with you guys, and I'll share with you what I plan to do going forward. Guys, drop a huge like down below to help the channel out. We're going for at least 1,000 likes on this video. You guys can easily blow that out. So if you want to thank me for this research, that's all I ask for. And make sure you stick around for this whole video because if you are investing in the stock or considering it, you're definitely going to learn a lot today and you're going to understand what actually is moving the stock so much. I know this is a heavily requested video. There's so many people asking me to cover this stock, so here you go. Let's start off with the obvious. What happened to this company today? Why is the stock up 38%? So this morning, this company reported their earnings, and guys, it was huge. They reported an EPS miss, yeah, but who cares? Because investors quickly saw that they beat on revenue and posted monstrous guidance. Revenue for the company was $293 million, which was up a massive 268% year over year. You just can't make this stuff up. And if that wasn't enough, they gave Q4 guidance of around 10,000 vehicle deliveries, which would be a year-over-year increase of 210%. This puts the total Q4 total revenues at a year-over-year increase of 243%. Guys, honestly, you cannot make this stuff up. Triple-digit growth? That is absolutely amazing. Clearly, investors have taken notice with the stock shooting up so much today. Now, I know many of you are chanting NIO, 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 but who knows, this company may actually outperform NIO over the coming years. So it's definitely caught my attention. NIO still has some fundamental issues with it, like its gross margins. You know, they're struggling with that part of the business. But this company, they're doing better. XPENG actually has a positive gross margin here of 4.6%. So from this aspect, it's already a stronger fundamental business than NIO is, which is very promising. So guys, this is pretty much what happened with this stock today. They reported earnings. Investors loved what they saw. Investors loved the outlook for guidance and where the company's headed. So they're rewarding the stock here with some massive inflow of capital, which is pushing the stock much higher. You also may have noticed that other companies like NIO are up massively today as well on pretty much no news. And that's because this earnings report actually trickled down to NIO and other Chinese EV stocks and pushed them higher today as well. You know what they say, a rising boat lifts all tides, something like that? Yeah, when one of these stocks does well, it typically helps all of them go up. So now let's transition to some news on this company that could actually push it even further. We got some bullish news here on XPENG yesterday regarding their EV pipeline, and Bank of America shared some insight here. In a statement, they said that they're raising their 2022 estimate volume sales by 5%, mainly to reflect stronger confidence in XPENG's continuous model launch and volume growth in 2022. They believe efforts made in improving performance, user experience, and autonomous driving should help improve its brand image. They also went on to say that they raised their price target to $36.20 per share and reiterated a buy. Well, I mean, if you look at the stock today, it's trading well above $36 per share. So they've smashed through these estimates here from Bank of America. So now I'm curious to see if they come out and revise their price target and actually raise it. Or maybe they're just like, hey, now it's moved up too far. We're not going to have a buy rating anymore. We may change it to a hold. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of eyes on that. Usually when you have these big banks, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Citi, these are typically things that can move the market because a lot of hedge funds, a lot of big investors follow these analysts And when there's a buy rating out there, a lot of people flood money in. And when there's a hold or a sell rating, there's typically fear and money flows out. So whether these analysts are right or wrong, they do have an impact on stocks in the stock market, especially smaller cap stocks. So you definitely want to always pay close attention and just have a general idea of what analysts think about your stocks. That doesn't mean you should go out and sell if the analyst says sell. Absolutely not, because more often than not, they're focused on a very short horizon, like 1 year out at max. But on this channel, I try to preach long-term investing, so we take advantage of the situations. And if a stock dips because an analyst said it's a sell, hey, if I believe in the business, I'm going to be buying more shares. Now, the other tailwind that's helping pretty much all EV Chinese companies is some data that was released that said that in October, auto sales were actually up 12.5%. The last few months has been very positive for EV sales in China, and we can see that it's been growing nicely month over month after having a horrible 2019 and first half of 2020. But based on what we're seeing right now, the worst may be behind us. As long as this trend can continue here and sales can keep going positive and keep growing, it'll continue to benefit companies like XPENG, like NIO, like other EV plays in China as demand keeps increasing and consumers keep purchasing these EVs. Now, the other piece of information I want to touch upon here, which is positive, is their balance sheet. The company currently has nearly $3 billion in cash and investments, which is a huge improvement over recent quarters, but was mainly obtained from their IPO, which happened recently, and also a Series C+ round financing that they did. Comparing this to their liabilities, they're able to cover this with their cash on hand, which is a much improved position from where they were at before raising all this capital. This is a strong sign for a healthy business going forward. They're able to sustain their debts and liabilities, and that makes me very comfortable to actually consider this company as an investment. Now, I'll say as long as they're able to continue scaling and growing out their business and capturing more market share, this is a very strong sign. Now, all of this news can definitely push up the stock much higher as more eyes and more investors start paying attention to this company because it's up so massively today and because they had such a strong earnings report. But I just want to spend a minute here just to look at their market cap because this was shocking. As of today, after this rally, $33 billion is XPENG's market cap, and this is quite large. While their growth is impressive, they're only expected to bring in $760 million this year and $2 billion next year. So you're paying a high premium for this stock today. There's just no way to deny that. But guys, it seems like investors just don't care about these valuations anymore. They just want to get into the stock, and that's just the reality of the situation of what we're seeing right now in stocks like XPENG, like NIO, and like other EV plays. This is a hot sector. These are hot stocks, and when momentum kicks off, it can keep going for a long time. I'll just remind some of you here, it may be a sore spot, but remember a few months ago when we saw Nikola, Hyliion, Workhorse, all these companies that just came out of nowhere and, through SPACs and all this stuff, and they just popped. They were pretty much the talk of the town. Everyone wanted to get in. Valuations were absurd, but everyone was like, hey, the future is, this, and the future of this company is so strong, and there's so much growth ahead and all this stuff. And yeah, maybe that's the case, but valuations have to make sense at some point. And now if you look at those stocks, they aren't so hot anymore because investors have come to their senses, smart money has flooded out, and now a lot of people are left holding the bag. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen here with NIO, XPENG, and other EV companies. However, it is kind of concerning that there's a bubble-like behaviors happening here, and it could last for a long time, but eventually corrections will come. That's just a normal part of the market cycle, and when that happens, I hope that a lot of you are able to either lock in your profits and move on and not lose any of your capital in these stocks. This is coming from a genuine place, guys. I really do hope that you make a ton of money on these stocks. Investing is not a zero-sum game. If you make money, it doesn't hurt me. If I make money, it doesn't hurt you. So we should all be supporting each other on this. And I'm just here to provide information to you so that you can make an informed decision on your own. Anyways, moving on here, let's talk about the stock in terms of my holding. Never discussed it on the channel before, but the question is, do I have a position with XPENG, and what are my plans with this stock? So I'll tell you this, no BS, straight up, I do not own this stock. I missed out on this run and I have no plans to buy into this company. That is unless valuations change and get much more attractive. At that point, I may consider buying in. But as of right now, with these valuations and these numbers that they're reporting, I just can't justify it. It's just not an investment for me. While I like investing in high growth companies, I am extremely selective on which companies I put my money into. And I have to be confident, I have to have high conviction, and I have to be able to sleep at night knowing if the stock goes down 10, 20, 40, 50% or more, that I'm still standing by my conviction, I'm still standing by that investment. And in fact, I'll actually double down, add more capital in. I can't say with confidence that if I buy into this stock today and if it drops 50% tomorrow, that I'll be confident enough to put more capital in. So I just choose to stay out at this point. I'll also say this, my concern with Chinese stocks, lack of transparency there, is a very real concern to me. Maybe you disagree, maybe you don't feel the same, and that's fine. But for me, it's my capital and I want to make sure that I'm comfortable with my investments. And these kind of stocks just don't make sense for me to put a lot of capital into, if any. So that's why I just haven't invested in this stock yet. But like I said, if the stock gets cheap enough, I may dabble a little bit of capital in. I can almost say with like 99% certainty this won't be a large position in my portfolio. It's just way too speculative, way too risky. But hey, who knows? Maybe a couple percent of capital if there's a good amount of upside. Yeah, I can see that happening if the fundamentals make sense. Now here's the chart for XPENG. By the way, I'm using TradingView if you were wondering. Link in the description if you want to check it out. But what I see with this stock is that volume has exploded the last few days, and this is a strong sign that this move up will actually be sustainable for now. This doesn't appear to be a pump and dump, and we could actually have a pretty big run here with this stock, with today just being the beginning of a massive bull run. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm sitting on the sidelines here. They had good earnings and investors seem happy. Now, the one thing I can see putting a wrench in this party is NIO. Next week, NIO reports their earnings, and if NIO somehow, some way reports something that investors are just not happy about, they miss, there's poor guidance, there's just some bad news, it will most likely see a decline, and if that happens, it will most likely pull these other EV stocks down with it. That could be a buying opportunity depending on how far those dip if it happens. So that's definitely something you want to keep an eye on, and that's why I think a lot of investors, a lot of big money will be watching NIO next week. So you want to make sure that you're also in on that party and you're not missing out on what NIO reports. Whether you like it or not, if you're invested in this space in China, that earnings report will have an impact on your investments. So you want to be informed, and guys, I will be creating a video on that. So don't worry, you will get your information at least from me. So anyways, guys, I hope I answered your questions here with this video, and like I said, I hope this investment works out for you. Honestly, no ill feelings if you got in on this ride. I missed it. And if you caught it, congratulations, enjoy your gains. You deserve it. But either way, what I'd love to hear in the comment section down below is your thoughts on whether NIO stock or this stock is a better investment from this point on. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear from you guys, as always, in the comments down below. But either way, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to invest positively, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.